Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ultimate Decades Challenge. We are in the second half of 1346, and there is just 1 year and a half left before the Black Plague. In the last episode, we lost beloved Stephanie and her husband William, which means their son Percival has now taken over the blacksmith shop. We also visited Tiffany and her two brothers, who have just opened a little inn thanks to backing from Tiffany's rich lover Quentin de Lacy, and we saw that Endrio and his twin kids Susanna and Ephraim are now staying there while Endrio tries to find them work. Before we get started, there are two things I'd like to go back on, and the first one is Percival Townsend's traits. He initially rolled the kleptomaniac trait, and I felt like it sort of conflicted with the idealist trait, so I removed it. However, Segosaurus, Jess, and Calypso brought up that this is actually a great setup to have him be a Robin Hood-style character, so I've given him back the klepto trait, and if he survives the plague, we'll get a chance to explore that potential storyline. The other thing I wanted to mention is Yana. So Yana is Endrio's obsessive mermaid wife. She was left behind in Tartosa. She gave birth to their son in the last episode, but failed her birth role. I ended up pleading for her, so here's the result. Here's her daughter Maya pleading with Griven. You tricked us! Oh no! Mermaid Yana. I think she broke her finger. And there we go. Actually. Oh, Yana. You know, she's just so in love with Endrio. I think Endrio's going to have a little visitor. So as you've seen, Yana is no longer among the living, but her tie to Endrio was so strong, she is now stuck somewhere between life and death, and we will be seeing her again. Today we are starting off with Esther's twins, Clarity and Roland, because they are at the royal castle attending a feast. But before we can get to that, they are each up for their teen roll. So please cross your fingers with me, because Clarity and Roland are two of the Sims I am most excited about. So I really hope they make it through and we can worry about the plague later. Also, it would kind of be bad manners to die at the royal castle during a feast. So we're going to start with Clarity. I believe she's the firstborn, but I admit I don't actually remember. They are up for their teen rolls, which means they just need to avoid a 7. Clarity is fine. She gets to age up. And as for Roland, who, interestingly enough, you guys might find this guy a little bit familiar. This is the same base sim that I used to make Timothy Dunham. So if you think he looks a little bit familiar, that's where you've seen him before. All right, so here's Troublemaker Roland. He doesn't look like a troublemaker, right? He just looks so charming. He also needs to avoid a 7. And he's fine. Both twins make it. I couldn't be happier. I'm really... Oh, man, they're all... I guess all of these Sims have not seen each other in a while, so they're all greeting each other as they arrive at court. Okay, Roland. Oh, he lost his traits. Oh, that's a shame. I kind of remember him having a lousy set of traits. I might have to go back and try and find what those were, or if you guys happen to remember. So he's currently eccentric. I'm pretty sure he had something like mean. Let's roll and see what we get. Mysterious, lazy, and heartless. Yeah, actually, I could see all of these. I mean him to be sort of a silver spoon, I guess. He was brought up as a future heir for the barony by his grandmother, even though he's illegitimate. And I feel like she gave him the impression that he should expect more than what he was actually given. So I guess that would make him sort of entitled and a bit pompous. And here he is. We are going to have to go give him a makeover, but oh, he's kind of cute. Not sure what's happening with his eyebrow, which appears to be upside down. I don't know. But that scar is kind of cute, actually. I could see him trying to learn fencing, and then he's a little bit impulsive and had an accident and now has a scar. Okay, what about Clarity? Clarity was heroic. I forgot about that. Emotional conduit. These Sims feel the emotions of other Sims around them and try to hide from it by staying busy, which gives them an appearance of confidence. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not going to keep that. Unappeasable. These Sims find it hard to be satisfied. They're often bored and need more sources of excitement. Okay, I don't mind these. They can work. I think I'll have her be maybe painter extraordinaire. Maybe she took a liking to artistic endeavors while she was staying with her grandmother. That could work. And okay, she's fine. She's so cute. She doesn't look all that much like her mom, does she? Okay, we're going to take these guys into cast and see what can be done with them. So here's Roland before his makeover. And here he is after his little makeover. Now here is Clarity before her little makeover. And here she is after her little makeover. Okay, so I've just come back to live mode. And the first thing I get is an attractiveness alert. Amicia reveres. Wait, I hadn't considered that. Okay, so here's our friend Roland. He's kind of cute, actually. Little troublemaker in the making. And here's Amicia. I somehow didn't think of that, but look how lovely she is. Of course, they don't know they're distantly related, but it could be a pretty strategic marriage if these two got together. Hang on, let me have him come speak to her. Discuss gossip? Yeah, sure, let's gossip a little bit. And oh, he was just about to go talk to her dad. They could be cute together. And I really don't know why everybody decided staying outside is the best course of action when you go to the castle. You know, there's a perfectly good castle right there. Okay, so the real reason Lady Henford is here, and oh, look at them, Grandma with her granddaughter. I'm gonna have to get Grandma looking a bit older. She looks pretty young here. So the whole reason Grandma Henford is here with the twins is because she hopes to sway some noblemen to her side in her attempt to have the twins legitimized. Now, I bet this would probably work better if she did this after the plague, when succession is already going to be a bit messy, but she doesn't know the plague is coming. And her grandchildren are at an age where she could be making alliances by marrying them off. So she's here trying to convince people that Esther and Baldwin were in fact secretly married when they conceived Clarity and Roland. And I'm actually going to have her appeal directly to the king. I know it should be the church that she would be dealing with for this, but we don't actually have a clergyman at the castle yet. Religion is still a little murky in our world, so we're just going to talk to the king. And then, based on how this conversation goes, we can see if the king agrees to grant Lady Henford her request, legitimizing Clarity and Roland, making them the heirs to Henford, or if it goes terribly, well, I guess he says no. And I love that the first thing I can do is kiss his hands or stress about lost time. No, that we're just going to start with interests. You might remember the king already took a liking to Esther, so that might also play in their favor. Maybe he's hoping to get in Esther's good graces so he can woo her later. Clarity and Henrika being jokesters? I don't know. I don't see it. Oh great. Henrika felt a little queasy earlier and hoped it was nothing, but now it's obvious she has a full-blown ailment. Maybe she didn't wash her hands enough. Or maybe it was from that odd-looking sim she introduced herself to recently. Whatever the case, now Henrika has to deal with it. Oh great. Is this like a prelude to the plague? Is this like a foreboding message that the Black Death is on its way? It's okay, we're gonna sit with the king anyways. Is she gonna turn green? Yeah, she's turning green. Oh man. I feel like I should do a sickness roll for this. Swoon with the king. I don't think so. I don't know. Discuss healthy relationships, I guess. Ask about recent dates? What? Okay. Well, she's contemplating life at the moment. I'm not sure what that's about. This is a very poor moment to be having your midlife crisis, ma'am. You're at the castle. This is your chance to speak to the king and you're freaking out. And why is a servant sitting with them? To the basement where you belong. Okay, so she's gonna charm the king a little bit before getting into the subject. Maybe she's going to start about talking about all these young people who are getting into courtships and stuff, and maybe she's going to talk about Bodwin and how things were with him and Esther at the beginning. The servant is back. Ma'am, take a hint. So it seems to be going fine. Is there anything I could ask? Like, I don't know, ask for a favor? Ask to be woohoo partners? No, not quite what I'm looking for. Ask for secret? I don't know. Could that work? I don't know. I'll say ask for a secret about Esther and we'll see how... Oh, why were their hearts? And why did he stand up for this? Okay, she's gonna ask for a secret and we'll see what that does. Okay, he's a potential new scandal. It would appear that Esther Barrow may be hiding a scandal. Looks like the burglar has stolen something really valuable this time. Esther's heart? Would you like to accept this secret and add it to your notebook? It will create a relationship between Essie Oakstead. Why is Essie a burglar now? That's not true. But, I mean, he was open to sharing a secret with her, so we could say that adopt? I mean, they're becoming friends. Share secret? Okay, sure, share secret. Maybe she's going to tell him, in fact, my son Bodwin was married to Esther, even if she was a peasant. And is he going to believe the secret? You don't say. They were married all along? Whoops, why is she so angry? Henrika has shared a secret with Hollis? Okay, I don't know what that was about. Oh, it seems to be her ailment. Her ailment is getting worse. Greeny meanie. Where did they even get this? She didn't even introduce herself to anyone weird earlier. Okay, well, whatever. It seems like Lady Henford is succeeding at getting her grandchildren legitimized. And meanwhile, great, let's just join the crowd out here. And oh, she's already speaking to someone. Oh yeah, so this is one of the twins who I don't remember which one is heir to the actual throne, but in Windenburg the lord had twins and this is one of the two. So sure, she can get to know him, and the other twin is over here. Oh, see, he has a little crown thing, so I guess this one's the heir, so I might as well have her meet both. Who knows? Although, no, they're first cousins. Yeah, that wouldn't work. They're first cousins through Bodwin. Okay, so let's have her speak to someone else then. Here, the medieval version of Timothy Dunham. Let's go talk to him, and this guy here with the best haircut at court. And meanwhile, how's Roland doing with Amicia? He went off to talk to other people, but oh, see, there's a lovely young lady in the back here. One of the Queen's ladies in waiting. Aw, Amicia and Roland have a compliment now. A sentiment. And he wants to become friends with Soren. So Soren is the twin who is not heir to Windenburg. The royals are currently all kids. They are going to be aging up soon as well. Aw, look at them sitting next to the wedding arch here. What's up with that? Are they talking about how their parents are going to start looking for matches for them soon? They might even already be engaged at this age. I'm not sure what's happening, but everybody just sort of went quiet. I feel like something must be wrong. Well, in any case, Grandma Henford is going to be pretty happy that the king is open to considering the twins legitimate, and now she might be putting pressure on them after the education that she's given them and this new position that they now have. She's going to be expecting them to work hard to keep that reputation and that position. So it means she expects both of them to find matches and to marry well to continue the family line and to, I guess, confirm their legitimization. Since she doesn't actually have proof of the marriage of their parents, then I guess she just wants to make sure they marry well, and then nobody is going to be able to contest their lineage, if that makes sense. I ended up having to reload, and so we are now in an alternate universe where the Baroness does not have an ailment any longer. Oh, never mind. It came back. She was destined to have an ailment no matter which universe we're in. Okay, then. Well, I guess I should take that as a sign. We're going to roll for Grandma Henford here just to see if she passes away. I'm going to roll a d20 and she just needs to avoid a 1. Oh, nat 20. Well, excuse me. She does strike me as the kind of person who would be too stubborn to die. And why is everyone flirty around here? Everyone at the table is flirty. All right, how's Roland doing? He's still talking to Amicia, or at least he's trying to. And she's gone off to talk to someone else. Where's he? Oh, look at him. He's over there staring at her, just waiting for his turn. Oh, Roland. Okay, there he goes. This is where the real party's at. Everybody's outside. Oh boy, she does not look impressed. And he just walked away. Oh no, okay, he's there. I thought maybe he figured his story was so boring, he just left. Flirt. Okay, you know what? Let's just go for it. He's a newly 13-year-old. It was told by his grandmother, we're going to have to find you a match, so he's here trying to be charming. A pickup line. Yeah, sure. Seems like his style. Okay, Clarity's coming out here to join them. And welcome member to Royal Court. We're just gonna have to pretend they're all greeting each other after not seeing each other for a few months, perhaps. Maybe the king only calls everyone to court once a year for special events. Oh, look at Esther over here. Oh, not making friends. Or maybe she is? Okay. Aw, could Esther find love again? I mean, he is pretty good looking. Here, I'm gonna have her talk to him a little bit more. And I bet now that Lady Henford has arranged for Esther to secretly be married to Bodwin, it must have improved her reputation with the court. And she must seem like a respectable lady now. All right, we've got a young man here. He's still a kid, but he will be aging up soon. His name is Chat. I'm sorry. So he is a knight in training, and he could be a potential match for her if he ages up in a year or two. Would only have a few years difference. That could work. I feel like Clarity isn't overly ambitious, but her grandmother is. In fact, Grandma Henford here might even start looking for a foreign lord or prince to marry her off to at some point. Somewhere where her lie won't come out and Clarity will be safe. Meanwhile, she does need Roland to stay nearby because he's going to be the next Baron. And so she's going to be looking for a lady who will strengthen the dynasty's position at court. And Amicia could be it, although the Verveers are considered pretty low down the line, so she might actually prefer to marry him off to a lord's daughter. Aw, Clarity's already talking to a young lady over here. I might actually send Roland over to join that conversation. And, oh no, did everybody freeze again? Everybody froze again. It seems to happen specifically at 10 p.m. Is something running in the background? Okay, well, you know what? I was pretty much done with what I wanted to do here anyway, so we can leave these guys frozen here, and we're going to move on to the jail, where we have a few birthdays to do. I cannot get over how magnificent this castle is. I keep telling myself for my new save file I'm going to do all the builds myself, but this seems complicated. Here we are at the jail with Alexander and Elisaria. And of course, one of the prisoners is attracted to Elisaria's mom. And why does everyone always spawn outside their lots? Can't we load in and have them be doing something? Okay, so the reason we're here is because two of Elisaria and Alexander's children are up for their teen roles. But before we get to that, Elisaria herself is up for her second young adult role. To avoid death, she needs to avoid a 3, a 14, and a 17. No. No! Why? Why are all the wives dying? No, Elisaria is one of my favorites. Okay, hang on. We have to roll to see how many years she has left. If she rolls a 10, it's immediate. 8 years! Okay, 8 years. We can work with that. That's fine. Oh, man. And now she already has the Black Plague to contend with as well. Ugh, Elisaria. I don't know why I was so confident going into that role. Of course this is what would happen. My favorites always die. Looking at you, Gemma. Adriana. Okay, well, hopefully that was the end of our bad luck for today. And we are going to go see Artemisia first. She is the eldest of their 3 daughters, and she is up for her teen role. Meaning, of course, that she must avoid a 7. 8, cutting it close, but she is fine. And what about Athelina? Aw, doesn't she look nice? She seems like a kind soul. She's fine. What are her traits? Is she the mean one? Oh, she's diffident. Yeah, you look diffident, my girl. Oh, and she's fertile. Oh, I forgot to do the marriage roles and the pregnancy roles for Roland and Clarity. Hang on. Okay, so we're going to roll for Roland first. He just needs to avoid a 1 and a 2 to get married. Oh, no. Roland doesn't get married. That doesn't work. He's supposed to continue the family line. Okay, well, maybe he's going to be like his dad and he's just going to have bastards? Okay, 8. Well, I guess he's going to continue the tradition. And what about Clarity? Does she get married? She does get married. How many baby tries does she get? 10 baby tries. Awesome. All right, so now we're going to roll for these girls right here. So the first one, Artemisia, does she get married? No. Okay. Does she have any babies? Okay. So I was looking at my notes for Artemisia and her traits. So she currently only has the downer trait, but she used to have rebellious and art lover. So I wonder if she might actually refuse marriage because for sure her parents are going to try to set her up. You know, she just turned 13. It's time for her to have a marriage arranged for her. Maybe being rebellious, she's going to somehow escape from the life that her parents have planned out for her. And then diffident Athelina, let's roll and see if she gets married. She does. And how many baby tries does she get? She gets 6. That's fair. All right. Well, that makes sense. So diffident Athelina is going to follow whatever her mother wants for her, which is going to be get married and make babies. And then Artemisia, being rebellious, I am going to have to give that trait back to her. Oh, they're both fertile. Interesting. Well, she might try to pursue her own path in life by perhaps trying to provide for herself by becoming an artist. I don't know. Interesting. And Octavian here is still about 4 years off from being a teen, so he's got time yet, assuming he survives the plague. All right, so let's get these girls aged up. So she was a downer. We have unappeasable. They're often bored and need more sources of excitement. Dislikes children because they think they're annoying as hell, and lazy. So I'm going to remove lazy. I'm going to give her rebellious back. We have frenzied rebel, which I don't know where that comes from. These Sims get angry at the thought of being controlled by anyone or anything. Okay, that could work. All right, well, I can't find rebellious, so we're going to go with frenzied rebel for her. And, oh, right, she's supposed to be an art lover. Well, I guess I'll remove unappeasable. I kind of like the dislikes children. It's like she doesn't want to have a traditional life. And so she wants to do her art and she doesn't want to have kids in the way of her ambitions, you know? There we go. So she's a frenzied rebel, art lover, downer, dislikes children. She seems like a hoot. Painter extraordinaire. There you go. And what does she look like? Aw. Okay, she's cute. She's a pretty good mix of Elisaria and Alexander. And how about Athelina? So she was diffident. I didn't note down what her other traits were, so we're just going to have to roll with it. A goody two-shoes. They try to be good and clean. Okay. Light-hearted. And a dog lover. They have no confidence in their abilities and decisions. Well, okay. Yeah, I kind of like this. It makes sense. Aww. Wow, the two sisters look so alike. All right, I'm going to take them into cast. Let's see what we've got to work with here. This here is Artemisia before her makeover. Here is Artemisia after her little makeover. I gave her a similar hairstyle, but just a little bit messier. And the family is usually dressed all in black, but I gave her the swatch with a little bit of gold on it, just a hint at her rebellious tendencies. She's still quite young, so I don't think she's going to go all out rebel just yet, but I like thinking that she's got it in her and it's coming. Maybe the plague is going to be the trigger that's going to allow her to break free from her mother's control. Or, you know, she might just die as well. Next up, we've got Athelina. This is her before her makeover. Here is Athelina after her little makeover. I'd like to think that her mother, Elisaria, is the one who picks out her clothes and who has tried to ensure that she is as lovely and attractive as possible for potential suitors. All right, so with both of her daughters now teens, I feel like Elisaria is going to be looking for husbands for them fairly quickly, even though they're still young, possibly because she hopes they might have sons. Just in case it comes out that Octavian isn't exactly a boy, she might be able to pull some strings to get her grandson to inherit instead. Now, one Sim in our world who happens not to be married yet is Stephen de Lacy, Quentin's mean son. He's about 8 years older than the Lorimer girls, but I could see them reach an agreement where they might get married and then only consummate the union once the girl is older. The Lorimers have a lot of money, so I could see the de Lacy family being open to a union with them. And it also helps that they already have a connection through Braden. And then another de Lacy who's available is Juan de Lacy. He's Quentin's nephew. And if the Black Plague happens to kill both Quentin and his son Stephen, then Juan becomes the next heir to the de Lacy line. So he could also be a good option for one of the Lorimer sisters. I say one of the Lorimer sisters, but it's really going to be Athelina, since Artemisia is doomed to ruin whatever prospects she has. Oh, that's interesting. So Athelina says improper proximity. Who do these people think they are that they can act so flippantly? They're bad. Where are my parents? I'm going to tell on them. Okay, so it seems like we've got a bit of a rivalry. Well, not a rivalry, but some friction between the two sisters because the one who's diffident wants to tell on the rebellious one. Interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to invite the de Lacy family over and we're going to have everybody interact with each other and we're going to see who gets along. Interesting that Illuminata, who's our evil judgmental egghead, who also happens to be illegitimate, is over here talking to the prisoners, including Yin Xiao, who is also evil and cunning. So there's definitely going to be a little team up going on here at some point. Oh, look, and then Santos, our employee, came over and like, young girl, you should not be here. Oh, oops. Okay, we've got some action happening between the prisoners. So I'm just gonna let that end and then we can go ahead and call over. If you... Oh great, she might be pregnant. Just what we need, another illegitimate child at the jailhouse. I do wonder what would happen with children who are born in jail at this time. Would the mother actually keep the child? Would the child survive in jail? Okay, so I was in the process of bringing the DeLacy family here, and I just realized Quentin's a widower. I thought he was still married, but no, he's now... Okay, so I feel like his relationship with Tiffany is a little better now. It's not as bad as I thought. He's not cheating anyone. He's just finding comfort now. All right, so here is Juan DeLacy. This here is Quentin's nephew, who is kind of objectively the better of the two suitors that we have. He's not, he's not evil. So I wanted to have them come and meet him, but I made a club and now they already know him a little bit. So, oh no, she's so angry. Well, it's fine. We're going to have her come and talk to Juan like this. Sure, compliment the DeLacy dynasty. And then the other young man we have, and of course, everybody's going into the jail. The other DeLacy gentleman that we have available is Stephen here. So Stephen here is mean, but he is an animal whisperer, so he's not all bad. Maybe he just likes animals more than he likes people. I'm going to take our two teen girls to come and meet him. We're going to go for respectful. And of course, there is also Quentin's daughter, Carolyn, who is here. So she is the scary looking accidental fairy that we've got here. And now, another thing that could be interesting is Octavian will be up for his teen role in about 3 years, assuming he survives the plague. And Carolyn here is also still unmarried. There is a 9-year difference between them, so we'd have to wait a little while before they can get married. But it's still a possibility. Elisaria is probably pretty nervous about finding a wife for Octavian because, well, Octavian, but she also knows it's sort of inevitable to avoid people asking questions and then to ensure a line of succession somehow. So she's probably going to be keeping an eye open for a lady who might be trustworthy enough to let in on the secret, or who might be sort of meek enough to be controlled. That would definitely not be Carolyn's case. She would not be manipulated into helping them. But if she had a very positive relationship with Octavian, I could see them opening the door to perhaps letting her in on the secret and then agreeing to a marriage. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. She is quite a bit older, though, so I'm not sure if that would work out. But everything will be determined after the plague, basically. I'm still going to have Octavian come and talk to Carolyn, because she's just too cool. So how's Artemisia doing with Juan here? Shove? No, maybe not. Show-off outfit? Sure. I mean, she's a rebel, though. She's not that interested in finding a spouse. And okay, so Athelina here had a bad first impression of Stephen, but Stephen does seem to like her, so that's unfortunate for her. But I could see a situation where Stephen is up to marrying her and her parents just decide for her, yep, you're marrying Stephen DeLacy, and she's going to be a bit upset about it. And then in the future, we could see if a better relationship develops between them or not. And what's Santos doing here? He's flirty. She might be seduced by the employee as well, which is sort of what happened with Elisaria, who fell in love with Alexander when he was working at the jail. What are his traits? He's impulsive and whimsical, so he would probably be a kind of a fun guy to get to know, and I could see her having a bit of a crush on him. All right, so here's Artemisia going in for a little... Oh, she's attracted to him. So he had a bad first impression of... Oh no, she's not attracted to Stephen. She's attracted to Santos. I mean, she is a rebel. Let's tease about face. I don't know. I could see her do it. Oh, the sisters talking to the two guys. So the rebellious one is the one who's attracted to them. Santos, I would not talk to your employer's daughter like that. Okay, so everybody's here having a little meal together. And here, how about I have Alexander come and speak to Quentin? These two have known each other since they were kids. And I bet Alexander would be pretty proud to finally be standing on equal footing as Quentin de Lacy. Because when they met, you know, Quentin was this little rich kid. And would Quentin like compliments? Definitely. And Alexander's family was very poor in comparison. Brag about possessions, yeah, sure. Make a flirtatious joke. I think I will. I mean, this is Athelina here, whose mother... Oh, look at what I've been reading these days. See, her mother was putting a lot of pressure on her to find a match, so I feel like she would do exactly as her mother tells her to do, and she would make an attempt. And if she has to choose between Stephen and Juan, I think she would prefer to be with Juan, so I'm gonna have her go in for a flirtatious joke. Not anything too intense, just so that she can show her interest a little bit. Ooh, Juan is looking at her sister. She's here flirting with him and he's looking at her sister. She's gonna accept him because she was attracted to him. Oh, man. I almost want to do something reckless. But she is pretty young. She just recently turned 13, so it would be a little creepy if she went in for a little mess around with Juan. Oh, although he is also a teen. Yeah, he's pretty young as well, so I could have them have a little flirt, and then the sisters might get into a fight over him. Should we? I don't even know if he'd say yes. I also don't necessarily want Elisaria's eldest kid to be pregnant right away, especially, well, I mean, okay, I'm doing it. I'm just gonna go for it. I mean, obviously she's not going to ask him in front of everybody, but maybe they would go out for a little walk after having lunch. Is he going to say yes? He said yes. She's the rebel. Juan is feeling a romantic connection for Artemisia and wants to suggest a date. Do you want this to happen? Well, we're kind of busy. I can't believe he said yes. They don't even have a romance bar. I was kind of expecting her to go in kind of hard and him to say like, whoa, slow down. Are they going to do that in their parents' bed? I think she's going to do that in her parents' bed. Oh no, okay, she's going to her own bed. That's fine. So being a rebel, I could definitely see her getting with the cute guy who was giving her a suggestive look. And then I could totally see an accidental pregnancy ending up with Elisaria hiding a baby somewhere and then keeping him as a bit of a trump card that she could use a little bit later. Maybe bring the kid out as a younger sibling at some point, or it just seems like the kind of thing that Elisaria would be a little upset about at first, but she would definitely use it as an opportunity later. Oh man, it's history repeating itself. What if Artemisia becomes pregnant with Juan's baby and then he marries Athelina? Alexander, the same thing happened with Alexander, Elisaria, and her sister Gregoria. Oh, look at her go talk to Stephen now. You're messy, girl. Interestingly, I selected Athelina and went to have her talk to Stephen, and the first thing that came up is enthused about dogs. And wait, is she the dog lover? Yeah, she's a dog lover. Actually, Stephen and Athelina might be a good match. He's an animal whisperer, she's a dog lover. He's mean, and she's a goody two-shoes, so it's sort of a hot and cold. Yeah, mess around. No, not right away, okay? We're gonna have them talk about animals a little more. That's interesting. Aw, she has low self-esteem, which fits perfectly with her personality right now. Poor Athelina, just a victim of everybody else's machinations. And Stephen de Lacy shows signs of the lover personality archetype. Aw, well maybe he's a tough nut to crack, but underneath, he might be softer than we think. You know, maybe he's mean at first glance, but he loves animals, and maybe he's just awkward around people. I am gonna have her try to befriend him just to see. And can she go in for a flirty joke again? Make a flirtatious joke. Here. Let's see if anything comes of that. Oh, now she's showing him what she's been reading. Oh, and he's interested. And I'll even have her enthuse about dogs again. Hey, Elisaria, can I join Upper Crust? So Upper Crust is a club that I started with Elisaria and the DeLacy's, and I felt like it might be their sort of exclusive club where they're going to invite other wealthy business owners and network and also have their children meet each other to see who we might want to get married. And her sister Gregoria is asking if she could be part of the club, which is very interesting. I bet Gregoria might want her kids to find an advantageous match through Elisaria. So I think I'm actually going to say yes. Could the sisters try and mend their relationship? And maybe Elisaria is going to see Gregoria as another pawn to use. Maybe she could marry off Gregoria's children in an attempt to spread the family's influence. I'm gonna try it. It's an interesting opportunity that the game is giving us here. And why is there fairy dust on the floor? I'm gonna have Elisaria come and pick this up. I bet she would be into using magic. Does Steven like compliments? Definitely. Yeah, I could definitely see Elisaria the type of person who would become a witch eventually. If she could find out how to do magic on her own instead of relying on her deal with the witches, I could see her trying to become a witch herself. Actually, that could be one of the wishes. I hadn't thought of that. What if one of the 3 wishes that Elisaria gets with the witches is to have her own lineage have magic? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Could she do that for one of her daughters? Maybe she'll try and get Athelina, but Athelina is kind of too weak. And I feel like it would be wasted on her. And then the other one is rebellious. So the only person who could be an efficient witch would be Octavian, who currently only has the captivating trait. I forget what their other traits were. Weren't they heroic at some point or something? Brave? I forget. But yeah. Octavian could potentially become a witch through Elisaria's 3 wishes with the witches. It's already the end of the day, so I'm going to leave this part here. I feel like today was all about political maneuvering, and we've been pretty successful. Lady Henford now has Esther's twins on their way to becoming the heirs to the Henford title, and then at the jail, it looks like Elisaria and Alexander will be successfully uniting their family with the DeLacy's, although it's still to be seen which of the cousins will end up being married off to Athelina. I guess the plague is going to be deciding that for us in just 1 year. That's right, just 2 episodes left before the Black Plague. And excuse me, you're in the way. In the next episode, we're going to spend a bit more time with our main household, and I also want to look in on our monastery sims and Tiffany's Inn. If there's anyone you guys would like us to visit before the plague is upon us, do let me know. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I will be seeing you all in the next episode. Just look at Elisaria. I love her so much. I'm so disappointed she failed her birthday role. Just look at her.